Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another career mode video. And for this video, we're going into episode number 3 at the Vietnamese Grand Prix. And Vietnam is one of my weak points, so I use all 3 practice sessions to warm up and get to know the track. So I didn't get many resource points in these sessions, but before I go any further into this video, if you guys haven't seen the one before, go check that out first. There's going to be some spoilers before I talk about how that race went. And I'll give you guys about 5 seconds to go and do that. I'll leave a link in the top right corner of your screen and in the description below if I remember. Now that I've given you guys a warning, I've got one last thing to say before I hop into the video. And I wanted to thank everyone for the support in the last couple of months. I've gained a ton of subscribers. I'm up to 89 subscribers as I am recording this. And I'm just getting like 3 or 4 subscribers between each video, and it's amazing. I wanted to thank you guys for the support. I am on the road to 100 subs, and I want to hit that goal by the end of the year, so I hope you guys can make that happen. And so now we're just going to hop straight into this video. As I said earlier, Vietnam's one of my weak points around the F1 game, as it is one of the new tracks, and I'm new to racing wheel. But I think we're really going to struggle around here because of the lack of downforce, and the third sector and the first couple of turns require quite a lot of downforce. So we'll just have to wait and see how the other teams do and how we're going to fare against them and how it's going to work out. But as I said earlier, I'm using the practice sessions to get to know the circuit. So heading into qualifying, I had no R&D points. I was hoping for a top 17, 18. I didn't expect to get through to Q2 because I was still pretty bad around Vietnam. But I had no resource points from practice, and that was pretty disappointing. I only got like 100 or 200 in total. Just moving on to qualifying, getting ready to start my first flying lap. This was pretty late into the session. I went out earlier but couldn't get a lap together, and so I'm doing my first lap on soft compound tires. I get a horrible exit out of the last turn. I don't even know what happened over there. I just messed that up completely. So heading onto the straight, compromise straight, I lost like 2 or 3 tenths out of that just alone. Walking up into turn 1 as well, things aren't looking all that good up until this point. Turn 2 is really tricky. Heading to turn 3, I hook up the curve quite nicely, so I get a good exit down to the next straight. And something that I haven't clarified yet is that I'm racing with no assists in this career mode. None at all. No brake assist, no nothing. And I have the AI on 95 out of 110 because since I'm new to using a racing wheel and I'm using no assist, it's a bit hard on me. And I have to lower the AI difficulty a bit, but as the season goes on, I'm going to try and raise it with each coming Grand Prix. Maybe not every single race, but as the season moves on, I'm going to raise it, and I'll just see where I'm at the end of the season. But for now, I just got to focus on consistency and getting good laps in and qualifying, good laps in during the race. Then I might up the race distance to 50% or something like that. But you guys just saw on the Delta on the top left, I was about 7 tenths quicker than George Russell, even with my mishap on turn 1 and the final turn. So there's a chance I could get into Q2 here, but then I slide across that turn, go wide, that cost me a ton of time. Then heading into the penultimate corner, I get a good exit. Last corner, good exit out of there as well. Run up to the line, P15 as of right now. But at the end of the session, I moved down to P18, which is really disappointing. And I really did feel like we could get through to Q2 in that session. We definitely had the pace. But you can see Mick Schumacher actually makes it through to Q2 2/10 up on my time. So if I didn't make that mistake in the third sector, or just didn't make the mistake exiting the final turn onto the main straight to start my lap, I would have gotten into Q2. So that's just the heartbreaker right there. But heading into the race, I skipped the formation lap. I'm not entirely sure why, so the lights just sort of came on right away. And so with no race intro, we go to 5 red lights and away we go. I get a good launch to overtake on. I turn it off to get traction and turn it right back on. Head over to the outside line, not one you usually take around any track really, but I do that anyway. I prefer the outside line for turn 1, and I get forced off the track and I just pick up some dirty air, understeer into another car, I'm pretty sure. So my bad over there, but I couldn't really do anything about it. You could see my wheel was turned all the way to the right. And I'm up into P16 off the start, but then you've got Giovinazzi and Roman Grosjean going down the inside, but I just send one around the outside. I lock up. I have the inside line for the second part of the chicane, and I keep the spot in P16 for now with a pretty nice first lap so far. We've gone up 2 spots. Schumacher's the one behind us. So our teammates in P17 on the mediums, we're P16 on the softs. It's going pretty well so far. The reason why there was no race intro at the beginning was because of some technical issues. I couldn't get it to record it, so I'm sorry about that, guys. Heading into the next turn, I sent a late move on Kvyat after seeing how slow he goes through that turn. I'm on the inside. He has the inside line for the next turn. I'm on the outside, and I outbrake him going through this turn. I go around the outside into the third sector. I get the move done up into 15th place. And here just a couple turns later, we have Daniel Ricciardo entering the pits until we get moved up to 14th position, as he probably had some contact there. It's really easy to make contact on the circuit. You just lose your front wing, so that's probably what happened. But here we're moving on to lap number 3, where DRS has now been enabled. I get some oversteer, I correct it, go out wide. I'm on the edge of the track, and Giovinazzi runs into me, and he's sent off into the wall. I'm not entirely sure what happened, but I'll show you guys a replay from his perspective in a few seconds. And so really, just looking back on it, I didn't really do anything wrong. I was on the edge of the track anyways. He just sort of ran into me. I'm not sure if that was due to understeer or if that was just him taking the racing line, but that wasn't my fault at all. And if you guys think otherwise, let me know in the comments below. But I don't think that was my fault. I think that was him just going wide and hitting me. Obviously, that's pretty unfortunate for him, but we just gotta carry on in this race and see what we can do, what we can make out of this. Here on lap number 4, there are yellow flags, and Carlos Sainz has retired from the Grand Prix. And you can tell in a few more moments he drops down the grid, and then he's on the side of the road here going through this small section, this small couple of turns, or mini turns sort of. So that promotes us up into P13 of this race. And we've got Kevin Magnussen behind by 2.5 seconds, and we have Pierre Gasly in front by 5.3 seconds, and so we'll just have to see what we can do before the pit stop. Here on lap number 7, this is the lap that we are scheduled to pit on. A few other cars have pit. You can see Hamilton's in front with the clear in front of him on the mediums, and Magnussen goes for a move down the inside. I've lost a ton of time to Magnussen. I have Verstappen behind as well, but I keep it around the outside and have the inside for the second part of the chicane, and I keep it in front onto this long straight. I turn on overtake so that he doesn't get a chance of overtaking me, and it looks like I get to keep P10 for now. But here, moving on to the end of that lap, I'm out of ERS from defending so hard, and Verstappen's managed to overtake Magnussen. But I've just got to try and make the undercut work on these guys, and they can either be pretty quick as they're going to be gaining on slipstream and DRS, or they're going to be pretty slow as they're fighting. So it's just down to luck. But as we go into the pit box, they have a front wing prepared. I'm not sure why. I didn't set it to change front wing. I might have accidentally done that because I didn't know that it had any front wing damage. So I've been jumped by George Russell in the pit because of this. And if I've been jumped by George Russell in the pits, then I've probably lost a ton of time to everyone else. And so that basically just ruined my race. So I just gotta try and make up the time to everyone else and try not to finish P20 from here on out. And here we are on the very next lap, lap number 8, heading to lap number 9. We can't see them in the pit up until, like, right now, where we passed Latifi and we passed Verstappen and Schumacher, but due to the nature of the circuit, they get in front of us by a couple seconds. We just barely managed to get in front of Nicholas Latifi, and so that's really unlucky. We didn't need to change our front wing. I'm not sure why the option was to change the S. I'm not sure why they changed it. I mean, I could have accidentally changed it to S, but I don't think I did. So I must have picked up some wing damage somewhere in the Grand Prix, and so that's really unfortunate. Heading into lap number 9. So now I've just got to try and catch up to the two guys ahead. They're on soft compound tires, so they're going to be a lot faster than I am, so I really need to try and find some pace. On lap number 10, I had to go do something, so I did a mid-session save and exit, but for some reason when I came back, the engine power was just gone. You see that I'm flooring the throttle, but I can't get any acceleration. Nicholas Latifi passes us with ease. We're just going really slowly, so I'm not sure if this is the game's way of implementing a mechanical error or if this is just a glitch in the game. But it's really annoying, especially right now. I can't get any speed out of the car. We run out of ERS even though we haven't used any this lap, and so I'm starting to think this is a glitch. But I'm flooring the throttle here, and I can't accelerate, and it's really frustrating. But here on lap number 11, I'm starting to get lapped. I decided to try and stop on the side of the road to see if that might help. I tried a few things, but nothing worked. And so I just decided to retire the car. There was no point in continuing. I was just dead last. Even if I did get it to work from here on out, it would have been over anyways. I'm like 30, 50, I'm over 50 seconds behind the nearest car. I just retire.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Ferme.
Here we are then, a fantastic Vietnam Grand Prix, and what a performance it was from our race winners today. What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
Mercedes are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend. It's great to see them up on that podium once again. Standings. Charles Leclerc, currently leading the championship standings, extends his lead even further with this result. After an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
Sebastian Vettel would definitely be my first choice. He showed up a lot of the drivers out on the track today and didn't show any signs of slowing down. All respect to the fans' choice, they fully deserve it, but I just feel that my pick had a little more on their plate, so their ability to keep a cool head and come through for such a strong finish made the difference, at least in my opinion.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Mercedes move to the top of the table. Meanwhile, good work from the owner-drivers team this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action. I can't wait to see what's next.
And here on the race results page, you can see right there, we DNF'd P21, but Mick Schumacher managed to get P14 in the car after the start that he had moving down. I'm guessing he's pretty happy with that. I'm pretty happy with that for the team, and it moves us up one spot in the constructors. I'm pretty sure that's what was said by the commentators, but I'm not entirely sure. We're all level on 0 points anyway. It's not gonna matter. But our goal is top 8 in the constructors, and so any points are crucial. See, the bottom 4 teams from 8 and downwards are all on 0 points, so it is a possibility we could get 7th place if we manage to get everything together quick enough. Here on the Team Acclaim page, my Team Acclaim level goes up to level 2. The team stays at level 3, but we're almost at level 4. Hopefully a few activities can send us up to level 4. We get our sponsor bonus, which is nice, so that's an extra 100 grand just about. And we get 50k in total from the race weekend, so that's good. We're up to $1.82 million as a team. Once we're at 2 million, we can upgrade something in the arrow and hopefully send it up to spec 1 so that we can do some more upgrades. And yeah, let's just head straight back to the headquarters. And here back at headquarters, you can see we only have 500 R&D points, not enough to do anything. And so I head straight to the activities page to see what'll help us out the most. You can see that the second driver PR filming helps with the driver acclaim and cash, which is good. But I go with the power equipment upgrade because that gives us some resource points, which is something that we need. And I go for the PR filming next, followed by some, I think it was no, I think I did the sponsor event. I don't remember. Yeah, we went for the sponsor event. And yeah, that's our activities filled up. We have an invitational event as well that we're going to do in a bit. You can see I'm just going through everything, just trying to see what to do. We've been overtaken by Alfa Romeo and Alfa Tauri in the past week for Vietnam, so that's unfortunate, but hopefully we can get back in front of them with a few upgrades, and we'll just have to sim through and see what happens. And here we are simming through. I get the major upgrade in the chassis, which sends us above the both alpha teams, and basically just cements a mid spot in the chassis department area. So you can see there we jump ahead of those two teams, right behind Renault and McLaren, and so any upgrade will help us over there. But we're not yet at the required amount of R&D points to make an upgrade work. But we're right below McLaren and Renault in the R&D chart. But here I'm simming to the invitational event, and I'm going to go to the invitational event. And hopefully I can complete it. I'm only going to go once, 150 grand and 1,000 driver acclaim. Is what I hope to get out of this. Now, if you guys want to read what's on the screen, it's basically just stating what I got to do for the challenge. You guys can pause the video and read that. But I am moving into this challenge. I'm not sure of the braking points just yet. I have to go 7.8 kilometers. And I'm going to be completely honest, I love the sound of this car, and it feels amazing as well. So I'm just going through the track. I'm pretty sure that means I have to go through 2 laps around the track. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that's what it is. And so I just go through each checkpoint, trying to go to rich mix, because I mean, I only need to go 2 laps, so I can afford to go rich mix for a long time. But as you guys can see here, I run wide, a pretty tricky portion of the track, and I'm basically just trying to get used to this car during this checkpoint challenge. But it feels really good. I'm just using the current braking point, but for some turns I might try and brake earlier on. You can see heading into the penultimate, I think it might be the last turn, I'm not sure. I brake before the 50-meter board just to try and experiment where the braking point is. You can see right there I brake a bit early, run over the curb, not something you usually want to do, but since the car is so light, it doesn't affect me much. But here I have 30 seconds left, and I am halfway done with the challenge. But here I've moved on to the end of that lap. You can see I barely get to the checkpoint with about 2 or 3 seconds to go, and now I've just got to get past this turn if I want to get the challenge done. So going through this turn, time is almost up. I run over the curb, but I barely managed to get the challenge done by 0.04 kilometers. And yeah, that's $150,000, which will help the team out a ton, and 1,000 driver acclaim, which will also help out the acclaim a ton. And it's just sort of handed to me. And yeah, that's really nice. As you can see, I'm simming a bit more into the week. I now have over 600 R&D points, over $2 million dollars for the team. And so I'm just going to try and make some upgrades. You can see there, Jeff's just telling us about the rivalries, and so I just head into the aerodynamics section, get the resource point generation upgrade. Hopefully this will go to spec 1. I'm not entirely sure how this works, so I might not be spec 1 after this. I think I might have to upgrade all 4, but I go to the chassis side of things, and I decided to go for a chassis upgrade, and the tire wear hasn't been a problem. I'm only doing 25% races, so I'm pretty sure I end up going for the weight redistribution upgrade, which will come before the Dutch Grand Prix. So I just go for that. I'm still looking around at everything. I go to develop it, and hopefully this won't fail. I haven't had any failed upgrades yet so far in this career mode, and I would like to keep it that way. And yeah, I'm just looking around at the moment, so I just go to develop it and head back to the overview to sim for some more. And you can see our final activity is done on the 15th, and so now the only thing left to do is go to the next race weekend. I'm just checking out driver perks. I decided not to upgrade anything, and I simmed the final day to the Chinese Grand Prix, and this is where the video ends. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and turn on notifications, and I'll see you guys hopefully in 2 days time for the Chinese Grand Prix. So I'll see you guys next time.